Great. Welcome on into Spillane Field. Chatham Anglers, their third attempt at taking down the Wareham Gatemen. The first two have been unsuccessful, and the Gatemen all the more in need of a win after dropping two straight from the second time in season. But a novelty this time around, they are no longer in first place in the West. They haven't held any sort of contention for that title since before the season started, when they were tied. Everyone is 0-0. Hi, everybody. My name is Henrique Demore. To my right, J.D. Rachi. Before this one today, Chatham Anglers coming to town in third place in a jam-locked East Division. But the Gatemen in second place in the West for the first time ever. On the bump today for the Gatemen, Joey Matulovic out of Cal. The junior, the one, it was him and Ken Waldachuk who were the two studs, old reliables, if you will, in this Gatemen starting rotation that really has been really darn good all through the year. Ian Becerra gave us a really good stat last broadcast. I forget what it was, but it's something like a 2 ERA, roughly. But bottom line, the starters have been really good. Ken Waldachuk got roughed up in a 9-1 loss to Hyannis yesterday. So the Gatemen trying to bounce back all around. Some fresh faces in the lineup as well. They'll take on Hunter Gaddis when in the bottom half of the innings. He's had a really good start to his Cape League career as well. 8 strikeouts and 8 innings of work, 3 hits allowed, no errors. But Matulovic is who we're going to focus on right now. He's been solid out of the gate and solid in relief as well. He will catch, Luke Roscom will catch him. Second part of the batter now that Michael Amditas is gone officially for summer school as he started to heat up in the game against Hyannis. But Drew Millis as well is going to split time with Roscom behind the dish. Got something going offensively as well. It was mostly negatives in yesterday's ball game, but some positives to take away. And the Gatemen try to bounce back here and restart a winning streak. Matulovic takes some warm-up tosses. Some new faces in the defensive look for the Gatemen. Paven Parks getting his first start at third base. Came on as a defensive substitution, as we talked about in the Gatemen Pregame Show. That one going to be up on YouTube shortly, if not already. But he's at third base. Sahid Valenzuela getting his first start at short, although that is his primary position at Cal State Fullerton, where he hails from. And at second base, Oliver Dunn, Lyle Lockhart Jr. at first base. Skylar Hunter, the usual suspect, out there in center field. Brian Packard in left and Jeremy Idens in right. A pretty familiar look in the outfield in this one today for the Gatemen. John Rave will lead things off, the center fielder from Illinois State, followed by Greg Jones and the always fearsome Tristan English. This offense is no joke for the Anglers, and the Gatemen, since the shellacking at Hyannis, have dropped down to a league-worst 4.79 team ERA. They're middling about in that category, and Chatham quite the polar opposite, 2.92 for second best in the Cape League. Ball one from Matulovic, first official pitch today, or official start time, I should say, 6:29 as the ball sails outside to English, or to Rave, excuse me. 1-0 pitch, fouled off Roscom's mask, didn't even flinch, bounces back towards us, even the count, 1-1. Matulovic from the windup, deals. That one slapped foul as well, 1-2.
This is what you want to do if Joe Matulovic. Get out in front of hitters, attack them, be aggressive, work quickly and efficiently on the mound.
Rave batting a scalding .387, but rips and misses at that one. First strikeout of the day for Matulovic on the breaking ball. That one brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. As is every strikeout this year, they are our Gatemen strikeout sponsor. Now the shortstop from UNC Wilmington, Greg Jones, steps in. He also batting above 300, one of 4 guys on this team. 3 currently on it, though, is Greg Torkelson, no longer on the roster. Left for bigger and better things, but all these guys sustaining a +3, a 300-plus clip over a long stretch of games, all double digits for him, for Greg Jones, Tristan English, and John Rave, and Kyle McCann, who bats cleanup, as that one's strike 2 at the knees to Greg Jones. Kyle McCann of Georgia Tech batting .297, so not too bad for him as well. The 0-2. Got him right down Broadway. Not a chance on that one. Greg Jones is retired. Back-to-back strikeouts. That one again brought to you by Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Not really sure what Greg Jones was looking at that time. That pitch looked right down the middle. Maybe it had a little bit of cutting action to come inside a little bit more against the left-handed batting Jones, maybe it was off the plate at least to him, and then it ducked inside, but we haven't really seen that kind of run from Matulovic this year on his fastball.
That one skied into right field, foul ground. Idens coming over on it, crashes into the wall, runs out of room. He's okay, though. Long, loud strike at the end of the day. Tristan English, the batter from Georgia Tech. Yeah, but to your point, JD, especially early on, I wasn't expecting that out of Jones. It was a really good pitch. Maybe he saw something that we didn't. But either way, 2 away as Matulovic looking comfortable in the first here. Cal McCann waits on deck. Pair of Yellow Jacket teammates batting 3-4 in the lineup. That one shot straight back, 0-2. Now 3 straight 0-2 counts, and Matulovic has gotten into them with zero hesitation. From the windup, the 0-2. Skied, shallow, actually straight back. Thought that was shallow right field initially, but that one just straight back and foul. So we'll do it again, 0-2. Again from the windup. That one lifted into center field, shallow. Playable for Oliver Dunn as he ranges into shallow center to retire the side. The Anglers go 1-2-3. Joey Matulovic looking good as ever. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless from Spillane on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the...
Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org. Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Gatemen Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, we are proud to sponsor the Gatemen Youth Clinic for 2018. Robertson's GMC. We are professional grade. Power like a pro.
Welcome on into Spillane Field. Happy to have you here with us. Enrique DeMora alongside J.D. Rachi. The Wareham Gatemen get their first cuts at Hunter Gaddis. Gaddis, like I mentioned, a really good year this year on the Cape, 2-0. No earned runs given up, no walks either. Has struck out 8 in 8 innings of work and has just scattered 3 hits this year for the Anglers. And a heck of a season at Georgia State as well. Almost 100 strikeouts in just over 100 innings pitched, but he's kept the walks down as well. I think that's the most impressive part. That's a theme at Georgia State. But as well, this year for the Chatham Anglers, no walks given up, as I mentioned. Face the top of the order, usual suspects, Jeremy Iden, Sahid Valenzuela, followed by Austin Shenton in the DH spot as Paven Parks, who's making his Cape League debut, starts today at third base. Iden steps in, trying to bust out of a slump, has struck out quite a few times in his last couple of games. Swing and a miss at that one. Good first pitch from Gaddis.
And I think that's been part of the problem for Idens is that he's letting pitchers get ahead on him. That pitch ran out of the zone, although it was a good breaking ball that sliced away from him. You still got to show a little bit more plate discipline, especially early in the count.
Takes ball 1 on the outside corner. From the windup, the 1-1. Barely caught the outside corner, but of a late call from the home plate umpire, 1-2. Idens clarifies with the official. Nods in understanding and waits on the 1-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good pitch on 1-2. Thing broke a little over a foot. Quite nasty out of the hand of Gaddis. Now the 2-2. Gaddis shakes off his first sign, likes the second one, upstairs, count goes full.
And that's the kind of plate discipline you like to see from Jeremy Idens. Chased a pitch in a similar location, although a little bit lower in the first pitch of the at-bat. Now he's got him 3-2 and has a good chance of getting on here.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. The struggles continue at the plate for Jeremy Idens. First strikeout of the day. Statistically speaking, probably the first of many for Gaddis today. Now making his first start at shortstop, but about his umpteenth start in the 2-hole, Saheed Valenzuela of Cal State Fullerton. Batted just a sliver under 300 this year for the Titans. His team made an exit in the Super Regionals. A late call-up to the Kate League. First pitch rocketed into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Valenzuela continues his hot hitting. He's got a base hit to boost a .375 average this year.
And the most impressive part about Valenzuela has been the fact this season that he has hit so well from both sides of the plate. First game at Spillane Field, batting from the right side, hit his only home run this entire year. Did not have a home run this season at Cal State Fullerton, but hit a bomb into the left field bleachers. And now he's hitting well for average from the left side. So when you're a switch hitter, you typically have one side of the plate that's a little bit stronger for you. Guys like Jim Thome were stronger from the left. Mark Teixeira a little bit stronger from the right. But Saheed Valenzuela has shown excellent consistency from both sides of the batter's box.
Quite a few switch-hitting bats in this Gatemen lineup. Isaac Collins, Skylar Hunter come to mind. Austin Shenton batting from the left side. Took strike one. Waiting on the next offering. Behind the plate, Blake Sable ready for Valenzuela to run. Good frame, but not good enough. 1-1. Sable teammates at USC with the third baseman, Ben Ramirez. Ramirez, Greg Jones, Jorge Arenas, and Tristan English left to right in the infield for Chatham. Pickoff attempt in the dirt. Valenzuela in there safely, though.
It's a pretty good pickoff move from the right-hander in Gaddis. Valenzuela, of course, with speed on the base paths. Smaller guy, moves well. But Gaddis, not every day you see that good of a pickoff move from a right-hander.
The 1-1 just upstairs. Firm fastball misses. Valenzuela, though, still searching for his first stolen base out here on the Cape. He's been caught 3 times already. So can't knock him for trying, but still looking for his first successful attempt. Gaddis ready with the 2-1. From the stretch, breaking ball just missed. Austin Shenton, one of the more dangerous hitters in this Gatemen lineup. Probably the most consistent one, batting .419 on the year. Looking for one pitch and one pitch only. Infield at double play depth for Chatham. The pitch. Rocketed foul down the third base line. Man, oh man. Didn't miss that one by much. Valenzuela, like you mentioned, JD, with a lot of speed on the base paths, probably would have been scoring if that one rolled into the corner. Colin Simpson, John Rave, and Adam Fogel left to right in the outfield for Chatham. Sable gives a sign. Gaddis approves. The full count offering, deep breath, and a pickoff attempt first. And those are some quick feet. Indeed from Gaddis. Rifles it over there with good accuracy. Had one in the dirt that English picked off. But other than that, it's been solid. Full count offering, 1 on, 1 out. Saheed Valenzuela takes off. Ball 4, does not matter. In there with a head first slide into the stone dust.
Interesting strategy. And now he's got a big black just stain across his jersey for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, it's not even gray. I mean, that it looks like he
looks like he got run over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a big old skid mark on the white jersey. He's trying to brush it off out there. That's not going to work.
Yeah, sorry, Saheed. He'll learn. Spends more time at Spillane Field.
Honestly, the fact that he got to the bag on a head first slide is pretty impressive.
No, I agree. You saw his legs kind of tail up as his chest just stopped. The friction of the stone dust pretty vicious as Saheed Valenzuela caught off guard there, but no one covering him.
A couple of weeks ago, I think it was against Harwich maybe.
Is that one strike one at the knees to Packard?
They had the double steal on, and they both left, and then the ball was fouled off, but the runners didn't know, and the guy moving from second to third tried to slide head first and stopped about 3 feet short of the bag.
I remember that.
So stone dust, not the easiest stuff to slide on, but it's also been the reason that the Gatemen are the only team in the league that have played every game this season as scheduled.
Yeah, no, it's been great for the Elements as Packard lines out lazily to center field. 2-on-2 out now. Lyle Lockhart Jr. batting $133 on the year. Red shin protector on his right shin.
The first baseman from Houston, number 18, Lyle Lockhart.
And also something in the water here at Spillane as the Gatemen are a scalding 6-1 at home. With 3-5 on the road, they find themselves at 9-6 coming into today's game. Chatham 6-5-2, a rain out and a fog out at Veterans Field today, or so far this year, I should say. First pitch to Lockhart, breaking ball misses low. Lockhart Jr. playing first base. Him and Parker Phillips probably going to trade time there. And in the DH spot, the 1-0. Check the swing. Did he go? No appeal made. Ball 2. Now an appeal made. And indeed, ball 2. Lockhart originally a two-way guy out of Houston. We've seen him out of the pen. Once successfully, once not so much. But he's got some pop in his bat, and in a good count here, the 2-0 offering, fastball right down the middle. He started to come into his zone a little bit, hitting a little more like everyone thought he would. Put a charge into one on the short porch at YD on Sunday. But still hitting 133 after a slump game yesterday against Hyannis. Heck of a frame on 2-1. I'll put Gaddis one strike away from getting out of the inning. Gaddis lost his rec specs. Two on, 2 out, scoreless in the bottom of the first here at Spillane. Slight breeze blowing right to left, Mostly overcast skies, temperatures in the high 60s. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, just got a piece of it, fouled it straight back. Lockhart stays alive.
Good job protecting the plate there. We've seen the breaking ball from Gaddis be pretty nasty thus far. It looks like a slider coming out of his hand and is broken into left-handed hitters. That started out off the plate in the right-handed batter's box, but you never know how much tail the pitch is going to have on it, and Lockhart had to protect with 2 strikes and did a good job there.
Infield playing him to pull. Jones right behind Valenzuela. 2-2, rocketed into left field. That's a base hit. Waving around third, Valenzuela. There's going to be a play at the plate. Throw is off target. Valenzuela scores, and the Gatemen strike first. 1-0 on the Lockhart Jr. RBI single.
This is what we said. We needed to see the Gatemen in the pregame show. We need to see Joey Matulovic work efficiently and quickly on the mound. He did that in the top of the first. We need to see the Gatemen get out to an early lead, because then once Matulovic has to be relieved, whether that be pitch count or innings count or just any sort of restriction on Joey Matulovic's playing time, the bullpen has been better when they are in low leverage situations, as you would expect, but it's been a seriously stark difference between good and bad this season for the Gatemen bullpen. So now that the Gatemen are out in front 1-0, Matulovic takes a little bit of pressure off from Matulovic. It really just takes pressure off the entire team, and they can let loose and start playing really good baseball.
Paven Parks now the batter as the Gatemen strike first on the Lyle Lockhart opposite field single, which is encouraging, and hard hit as well on a 2-strike pitch that Gaddis just left a little up in the zone, took the fastball the other way, hit it where it was pitched, the mark of a good hitter. We know Lockhart's a good hitter. His numbers from Houston prove that. Maybe a little too early to tell, but finally seems like he's getting a little more comfortable at the plate, and he's going to have to. We're going to see him in the first base spot and the DH spot pretty much with regularity from here on out. Paven Parks skies the first pitch you make contact with in the Cape League. Out to second base. Late break by Arenas. He scampered back at the last second to complete the catch. The Gatemen score 1, strand 2, 1-0 Wareham as we go to the top of the second inning from Spillane Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those other gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and the price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Northeast Maritime.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, top of the second. Gatemen have a 1-0 lead, and Joey Matulovic back to work after a very efficient first inning for the right-hander from Cal, one of the few juniors on this pitching staff. Like I mentioned, JD, one of the leaders on this pitching staff because of seniority, but also just because of the success that he's had, the consistency that he's been able to give the Gatemen this year. A couple of fine starts, real nice start to the year, as we mentioned, a .69 ERA. Both starters today with a sub-1 ERA. Not often you see that. We knew it would be in for a good one just by virtue of Wareham and Chatham playing 2 of the best teams on the Cape of the starting pitching matchup. We'll see as the game goes on whether it lives up to the hype, but certainly looking like it will. As Matulovic pitches ball 1 to the number 4 hitter, Kyle McCann. Out of Georgia Tech, he'll face McCann, Colin Simpson of Oklahoma State, and then Ben Ramirez, the third baseman from USC. Swing and a miss, strike 1. McCann, 297 coming into today. Bit of a free swinger, 13 strikeouts. As McCann was ready to chuck the bat on that one. Thought he could sell getting hit, but a little bit of a smile on his face as he knew he was bluffing. The 2-1 from the windup from Matulovic. Sky lazily foul down the left field line, 2-2. I think the way to properly sell things when you maybe get hit isn't to immediately look back at the umpire with a quizzical expression on your face, which is exactly what McCann did.
Did you forget to put in the thing?
2-2 from Matulovic. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the third base umpire, Ronaldo Cochran. Third strikeout of the day for Matulovic to lead things off in the second. That one brought to you by Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Sometimes better be lucky than good, they say. Pretty good pitch, though, still from Matulovic. Elevated fastball with a 2-strike count. Guys' eyes get big when pitches go upstairs with some pace.
And that one got into right field with some pace. My goodness, a rocket off the bat of Colin Simpson of Oklahoma State. First base hit of the day for the Chatham Anglers. They got something going here with 1 out in the second. Ben Ramirez is the batter. I think as Matulovic starts to rack up the strikeouts and the weak contact, especially off that breaking ball, I think you're going to see guys start to attack him earlier on in counts. Not going to let themselves get duped by anything fancy out of Matulovic's hand. Big secondary lead over there at first by Simpson. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Holding a bright red bat over his left shoulder. With 1 down, the 1-0. Skied into left field, playable for Packard. Ranges back and makes the routine play for out number 2.
Good response from Joey Matulovic. Gives up the first hit of the ball game on a well-hit single from Colin Simpson in response by getting a pretty good hitter in Ben Ramirez to fly out completely harmlessly to left field.
Yeah, pretty good outcome, all things considered. Blake Sable is the batter. Out of USC. So 2 Georgia Tech teammates batting 3-4. As that one is skied straight back towards us. Made me jump just a little bit, but our plexiglass back as it should be. Early in the season we had a little bit of a scare as that one fell as back in the first inning of a game. It fell out of place, and JD and I were on our toes. 2 down, the 0-1. Into left field. Packard making a range on it, not going to get it. It's going to get not over his head. He managed to block it, but bobbled it a little bit. Started to send him initially, but held up at third base is Colin Simpson. But over to second is Blake Sable. It'll be interesting to see how they score that, if they give that an error, as that was very well hit. But you'd like to think if Packard, made a clean play on it, might have been able to hold him up at first. No real harm done yet, though. 2 on, 2 out. Still a 1-0 lead for the Gatemen. Adam Fogel is the batter, though, the right fielder from Hawaii.
This is where if you're Joey Matulovic, you've got to respond, have a good at-bat here against Adam Fogel. Not one of the guys in this lineup that's going to hurt you terribly. So settle in, throw strikes, as he does in the first pitch, and get ahead of this batter and get out of the inning unscathed.
Ahead 0-1, as you mentioned, JD. No errors on that one, so they're going to give him, but they're still going to give him a single. Maybe some updating to go here on the point streak, because he skies that one's foul, 0-2. Fogel, the fifth man to bat in this inning. Joey Matulovic trying to get out of a jam, keep his team with a 1-0 advantage. Infield back early in the contest. The 0-2. Swinging a line drive straight back. We'll do it again.
So it'll be ruled as a single and then advance to second base for Blake Sable on an error E7 against Bryant Packard.
1-2 swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. The breaking ball working beautifully for Matulovic. That one brought to you by Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. We're going to send it down to our Mary Orders, who is with our beat writer, Ian Vicera. Mary, what do you got for us?
3, 2, 1.
No loss, etc.
Thanks, guys. So I'm here with our beat writer, Ian Vicera. Now, Ian, we had a rough road loss yesterday, but we actually had the same amount of hits as Hyannis. Can you explain what kind of went wrong so we couldn't convert to runs?
Yeah, Mary, it's pretty incredible, actually. Both teams had 12 hits, yet Hyannis had 9 runs. Wareham only had 1. So I think the biggest difference in that game was just putting the hits together in rally form. So, getting hit after hit as opposed to what Wareham did, which was scattering hits throughout the evening.
And we started out very strong, 4-0 actually, and since then we've been under 500. What are some of your insights into that?
Well, Mary, I think playing on the road has definitely hurt the Gatemen. The Gatemen have not performed all that well on the road compared to home. They're much more comfortable, only 1 home loss. And I think that's just knowing your park, being able to play better at home, knowing your outfield, knowing the batter's eye in center field, things of that nature.
And speaking of the home game tonight, what are some of your key insights?
Well, Mary, I think what we saw in the first inning for the Gatemen, getting a hit with 2 outs, bringing in that run, that's something the Gatemen haven't done all that consistently, and with Vaughn and Stott off to Team USA, it's something that they're going to need to do a lot more of now without 2 of their bigger guys in the lineup.
Thanks so much, Ian. For more of Ian's work, you can follow him at Twitter at Ian_Vicera. Guys, back to you.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
Welcome back, Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. 1-0 Wareham. Oliver Dunn, the batter, takes a rip and a miss at a nasty Hunter Gaddis breaking ball. Talked about how breaking balls have been good for both pitchers, but you mentioned it, JD. Out of the hand of Gaddis, it has been particularly effective. Another one there. That one misses low, though evens the count to Dunn, 1-1. The 1-1. Upstairs, he missed it, 2-1. Dunn batting in the 7-hole today. There's a low with that one, 3-1. Saw the other maybe full-time second baseman, for lack of a better term, Isaac Collins, get a pinch hit appearance in yesterday's loss. 1-for-1 with a strikeout. Dunn's first time in the lineup in a while. And he's aboard here with a 5-pitch walk to start things off. Hunter Gaddis not finding the zone so far, but the bottom of this Gateman lineup has struggled. All three guys hitting below the Mendoza line. Luke Roscom, though, has had his bat heat up, in recent situations. We're talking about it before the game, JD. A 176 batting average, but an on-base percentage just under 400 for Roscom.
He's found ways on base. He's gotten hit by pitches. He's drawn walks, and he's done a good job of hitting. He's done a good job with situational hitting this season. A couple of RBI groundouts on the year for Roscom, and if he gets the bat going more consistently, then that's going to be something that's going to maybe see his play time tick up. Because right now, as you mentioned, he'll be splitting time with Drew Millis behind the plate. But if one of these guys gets hot, you got to put the guy out there that's going to perform a little bit better, and Roscom could easily have that happen for him.
Little dribbler down the third base line. It might be trouble. Roscom not incredibly quick, but he reaches fortuitous off the bat of Roscom. Did not get great contact on that at all, but hey, for all they know, it's just a really good push bunt from the lefty Roscom.
Well, everybody saw it, so they definitely know it's not a push bunt.
Okay, fine. They, as in maybe the people who are catching up with the box score back at home. But either way, 2 on, nobody out for Skylar Hunter. And there's another guy who, despite his numbers, has been really good in clutch situations. One of the higher RBI totals on this team despite a 120 batting average. An absolute maven out there in center field, but has yet to really consistently heat things up at the plate. Got the clutch gene, though. Trying to convert here with 2 on and nobody out. Pull shows bunt, pulls back as that one misses upstairs. Left side of the infield completely ready for it. And the bunt defense looking like a well-oiled machine. Ramirez was in, Jones was covering second base, Arenas ready to cover first, and English crashing as well. Corners crash, fake pick back to first, no one covering. Infield single for Luke Roscom. Didn't think those words were going to come out of my mouth anytime soon. The 1-0. Pulls back as that one sails in. Gaddis saying, hey, this is my plate. But Skylar Hunter in a good hitter's count, 2-0. I imagine they still keep the bunt on.
They're telegraphing it the whole way, but
yeah,
doesn't really matter. Skylar Hunter has shown multiple times this season that he's been able to get down really good bunts.
Gets that one down, but foul. Looks like it might have hit something, maybe a foot, as that one was fouled straight down, but then shot back and left.
But the best part about having Skylar Hunter here, bunt here, is not only can you move runners up to second and third respectively on a sacrifice, but Hunter has enough speed going down that first baseline. If it's a good enough bunt, he could reach as well.
Bunt well placed down the third base line. He might reach on this one, as having trouble with it is Ramirez, like you said, JD. Well done. Willing it into existence, JD Rachi on my right. Remains to be seen at the 1/3 mark of the season whether he'll use those powers for good or for evil. But right now looking real good for the Gatemen. Jeremy Idens getting his second at-bat in as many innings. No outs, bases loaded. Hunter Gaddis in a heap of trouble here.
This is where Idens, who's, as we mentioned, been going through a bit of a cold streak of late, this is where he needs to break out. Bases loaded, nobody outs. You're in a perfect big RBI situation.
Oliver Dunn at third, as that one just misses outside. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but the count is 1-0. From the stretch with the bases loaded, corners in, middle back, 1-0, skied foul, 1-1. And what a place for Idens to potentially bust out of a slump here. Ground ball up the middle. Will score one, but probably result in a double play. It's Chatham defense near the bottom of the league, though, with 14 errors. 1-1. Got him on the back. A run will score. Fire up the merry-go-round. The white jerseys circle the bases. 2-0 Gatemen on a mistake by Gaddis.
RBI hit by pitch counts the same in the scorebook as an RBI single, so
you're dang right it does.
Jeremy Idens will take it, and it's a 2-0 lead now for Wareham. And this is what we talked about. Get out in front early. Take pressure off your pitcher. Let him play his game. Let him be the aggressor. And that's what the Gatemen have done. And that's what's made them so successful this season at Spillane Field, is they have gotten out early in pretty much every single game. They have yet to have to come back at home this year.
Yeah, at worst, games have been tied. Only once have the Gatemen had to come from behind win, and that was against Orleans on the Austin Shenton walk-off ding-dong. But the Gatemen were, we'll say, silenced in the next game with a 10-4 loss. Ball one outside to Zahid Valenzuela. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Two 2-0 Gatemen, bases loaded. Infield still in the same alignment for Chatham. Corners in, middle back, ready for that double play. 1-0, hard ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Scoring easily is Roscom. Skylar Hunter being waved around. And the speedy center fielder is in for a 4-0 Gatemen lead. Out in front of the competition early indeed. RBI single for Valenzuela, 2 for 2. The stats just keep looking better for the middle infielder from Cal State Fullerton.
It's a special talent. Hits from both sides of the plate. Excellent defender in the middle infield. Zahid Valenzuela is going to be a great player next year for Cal State Fullerton. Could see him get drafted at some point, I think, after his junior year, if he puts up similar numbers to what he's putting up now or similar numbers to what he put up as a freshman, over 300. And he's one of those guys that I think projects as a utility guy at the next level, somewhere that you can just, somebody that you can plug second base, shortstop, maybe you can even have him DH if he's on an American League team. There are a couple of things that need to develop for Zahid Valenzuela. Arm strength isn't the best going from shortstop, but you know what? This kid could be something special someday for a major league club.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Good breaking ball. Shenton way out ahead of that one. Was sitting fastball, didn't get it. Gaddis bounces back nicely in the one-pitch sample size. Austin Shenton walked his last time up, his second at-bat in as many innings. The 0-1. Another breaking ball. That one misses low, though. Gatemen out to a 4-0 lead, trying to push it to 3-0 against the Chatham Anglers. The only team they've seen 3 times besides the Orleans Firebirds. Hyannis 2 more times the rest of this year. Now that one outside to Shenton. He's in a good hitter's count here, 3-1. The Gatemen, via 3 singles, a hit batsman, and a walk, have pushed across 3 more here to take a 4-0 lead against Chatham. Zahid Valenzuela now has scored 1 and driven in 2. The 3-1, skied foul.
So Valenzuela has been a part of every run except one. The only run he has not been a part of was the RBI hit by a pitch from Jeremy Idens where Oliver Dunn scored. So anything that's been an actual full-fledged ball hit off the bat RBI has been somehow involving Zahid Valenzuela.
You'd love to see it. The full count pitch, Sable sets up low. Breaking ball, lifted into center field. Coming in on it is Rave. That's going to get down for a base hit. Around second, Jeremy Idens will be held up at third. Mike Mobb, the third base coach from NYU, says no. And probably a good idea. Not trying to test the arm of Rave. He got a really good beat on it. Had all his momentum coming forward. Straight to home plate, but bases loaded again. For the Wareham Gatemen, still no one out. And the always dangerous Bryant Packard is the batter. But after this break, pitching change here. Hunter Gaddis ushered out in a hurry. 4 runs given up and 3 more on the base paths for the unlucky soul coming out of the Chatham bullpen, trying to salvage this one for the Anglers. We'll be right back. Pitching change at Spillane on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Whatever your goals may be, Joe Crespi and the Merrill Lynch of Taunton will work with you to develop a customized financial strategy designed to help you pursue what's important to you. Managing your wealth and listening to you is their top priority. Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Troy Miller is the new arm, right-hander out of Michigan for Chatham, and he will inherit a bases-loaded jam with no outs, only in the second inning. I don't think things could have gone worse for Chatham if they tried here.
Things have not gone well. Skylar Hunter, I think his at-bat in this inning was really the kind of thing that you point to and say, well, that's how our day's going. Tries to lay down a sac bunt with runners at first and second. It ends up being a sacrifice, but he also reaches first base because Ben Ramirez just completely fumbles the ball.
Yeah, he boosted.
He would have had him easily at first base, and the ball bounced out of his glove and on the ground. It just not something you normally see from a player of Ramirez's caliber, and now you still got nobody out because of that play, and it's really could change the entire complexion of this inning.
Yeah, I think this can be best characterized as a snowballing inning for Chatham. Now Brian Packard will be the first man to face Troy Miller from the University of Michigan, 6'4", 215. Right-hander just finished up his junior year in Ann Arbor. Delivers ball one to Brian Packard. He's 0 for 1.
This is another place that Brian Packard can come up big here. We haven't seen the pop from him quite so much this season that we saw at East Carolina.
The 1-0. Lifted high, shallow into center field. Racing in is Rave. Looks like he's got a beat on it. He makes the catch, tagging up from third, Jeremy Idens. He will score easily as that one gets under the legs of Sable. Everybody's going to move up a base. Goes all the way to the backstop. And the sac fly for Wareham brings in the 5th run of the day. And the error, I imagine that is a fielding error, is that 5-hold Blake Sable behind the plate. 2 runners will move up. If that holds, second error of the day for Chatham. But bottom line, 5th run of the day for Wareham. 1 out, 2 in scoring position for Lyle Lockhart Jr. Already has a run driven in on the day. Still waiting on that official scoring. First offering to Lockhart. Infield in. Strike on the inside corner. And I don't know if I just noticed it or if they started doing that now, but the middle infielders both ready to back up the throw from Sable back to Miller. Trying to prevent any more shenanigans defensively for Chatham. The 0-1 breaking ball, very well located, 0-2.
Big breaking ball from Miller. 12-6 curve, broke right down the middle of the plate. Out of the strike zone, sneaks right in, and now Lockhart again has to protect 0-2.
He did it his last time up, took a 2-2 fastball into left field for an RBI single. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball misses way up, didn't really do much breaking, 1-2. Hunter Gadd is still responsible for both Zahid Valenzuela at third and Austin Shenton at second. The 1-2, Sable sets up low and in. Breaking ball outside, lifts that one opposite field, but foul.
The error will go on the throw from the center fielder, John Rave. So Austin Shenton at second on the error, Zahid Valenzuela on third due to the error from Rave.
But the run scored itself, fair and square on the sacrifice fly from Brian Packard. Infield in, 5-0 Gatemen. The 1-2 breaking ball, swing and a miss. Sable holds on to it to complete the strikeout.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
From Troy Miller. That was filthy stuff. Lyle Lockhart completely swung out of his shoes. Surprised he didn't end up on the ground, to be completely honest with you. The way he just kind of stumbled forward after swinging the bat. That is a good breaking ball for Troy Miller.
Now here comes Paven Parks. Third baseman lifts that one into center field. That could get down for a base hit, but Rave coming in, sliding catch. What a grab by the center fielder for Chatham to save 2 runs. My goodness. Chatham gets out of an ugly inning in style, but it is 5-0 Gatemen. We go to the top of the third on the Gatemen Baseball Network from Spillane.
Get Gatemen gear.
Since 1950, whatever your goals may
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Top of the third inning, 5-0 Gatemen. Everything coming up all Wareham so far. A nightmare inning knocked starter Hunter Gaddis out of the game. But Troy Miller was pretty darn good in relief. He gave the sacrifice fly, but again, that base runner credited to Gaddis, and so is the run. And a really nice play by John Rave out there in center. Saved a couple more. But Troy Miller, you dwelled on it, JD, but that breaking ball truly was filthy.
It's just a great 12-6 breaking ball. Might have even been 11-5, a little bit of sideways break, but mostly north-south.
All the nastier as that one is rocketed foul down the first base line. 9-1-2 from Matulovic here in the third inning. Give up a couple of hits, but stranded them both. Jorge Arenas followed by Mr. John Rave. And the shortstop, Greg Jones. That one misses upstairs, 1-1. Two hits on the day for Chatham, compared to 5 for Wareham. That one outside, 2-1. Arenas from Stetson University. Pass from the right side against the righty Matulovic. The 2-1 pitch. Outside, he missed it, 3-1. Arenas himself below the Mendoza line, 158, but just one of 3 guys in this lineup falling under that statistical designation. 3-1, missed it. First walk of the day surrendered by Matulovic, puts the leadoff man on in the third for Chatham.
The center fielder from Illinois State, number 3, John Rave.
Rave the batter 0 for 1 today, victim of one of 4 Joey Matulovic strikeouts through 2 innings today. First pitch, upstairs. Roscoe going to call time and make sure everything squared away. Everyone's on the same page as far as his battery. With a slap on the behind, an encouraging word, the meeting is over. Luke Roscom in the all red and gray catcher's gear, repping his Nebraska Cornhuskers out of the Big Ten. The 1-0. Upstairs again, 2-0. He's not careful with that location, could go the way of Ken Waldachuk. Left one too many pitches up in the zone against Hyannis. A lot of hard hit balls off Harbor Hawk bats. They're ahead of Brewster 4-3. 3 now as I refresh my score page. In the top of the 7th. Warnick 2-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Falmouth, who have won 3 straight after dropping 6 in a row. What a turnaround for them. Ahead of Orleans, 1-0. YD ahead of Harwich, 1-0 at White House Field. And here, of course, it's 5-0 Gatemen. We're in the top of the 3rd inning over the Chatham Anglers. Another mound meeting. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, got him on the fastball.
Good bounce back pitch from Matulovic. Struggling with location to start this inning. Top of the order now for Chatham, and it's a couple of good hitters in Rave, Jones, and English coming up to the plate. So Matulovic, a good job to get back in the count and try and get him stall-free started in this inning after issuing a leadoff walk to Jorge Arenas.
That one's skied foul. Long loud strike puts it at 2-2. One on, nobody out. Chatham with the Northwoods leading 27 stolen bases, as evidenced by the secondary leads that these guys are getting off the base paths. That one's skied straight back. But everybody taking really good aggressive secondary leads. We've had a small sample size. That's just the third Chatham base runner to reach all day. Two, hammered straight back. We'll do it again. I think I had a slip of the tongue as I said Northwoods, not Cape Cod League, leading 27 stolen bases, thanks to JD for catching that one. That one lifted into deep center field. Hunter going back on it, still going back, reaches up, a catch over the shoulder. Making plays like that look easy is just what Skylar Hunter does. One out in the third.
Jim Lawler comes out to the mound to talk things over with Joey Matulovic. And, you know, he settles back in. Good hitter in John Rave. Had an excellent season at Illinois State this year. He delivers a fly ball out with Greg Jones, another good hitter coming to the plate with speed, so it's going to be tough to double him off, but maybe if you can hit something hard to either Oliver Dunn or Zahid Valenzuela, you could get out of this inning.
Infield at that double play depth. Parks at third playing even with the bag. That one shot about a mile high but foul, 1-1. Jones out of UNC Wilmington. 293 batting average, 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. The 1-1. Hammered into left field, but playable for Packard. Has to go back on it, though. Now at the wall. Makes the catch. Another over-the-shoulder catch for the Wareham Gatemen outfield. 2 long outs, but 2 outs indeed.
It's a tough play for Bryant Packard. He misjudged it a little bit the first time around, I think. He started charging in, and that's always the first mistake you make as an outfielder. They teach you in Little League. Head back first. You can make up ground more easily running forward than you can coming back. Luckily, though, for the Gatemen, Packard able to range back and make a nice play on the run for the second out of the inning.
That one shot straight back. Strike one to Tristan English, 0 for 1. The 0-1 gets in there lazily, 0-2. Back-to-back hard-hit balls off Matulovic. But they've stayed in the park, and that's what matters. The 0-2 fake steal. Nothing doing, though, as that one is fouled back. We'll do it again. Matulovic, 1 strike away from getting out of the inning and registering his 5th K of the day. Got 3 of them swinging today, the junior from Cal. Was drafted in the 21st round by the Milwaukee Brewers. His future remains to be seen on the Cape League. Is that one outside? Throw down to first. He did not get him. Heck of a dive back by Jorge Arenas. It was a bang-bang play, but apparently just under the tag there. Rich Gattani umpiring things at first base, says Arenas is safe, so the inning continues. The 1-2 pitch, Arenas takes off. Hard ground ball past the glove of a diving Paven Parks. Packard has trouble with it, and so they're going to send him around first. Took him about a year and a half to pick up the ball out of the dirt, or out of the grass, I should say. That was the first Gateman run of the day, not how they wanted to have that scored on them.
It's a well-hit ball from Tristan English. We'll have to see how it's scored, but you imagine that the run will go as unearned against Joey Matulovic because of the error from Bryant Packard. That remains to be seen, waiting for the official decision, but Packard at times has looked a little uncomfortable in left field. He's listed as a left fielder and an outfielder on the ECU roster. So I'm taking a little bit of infield today as well. He has at times looked uncomfortable out there, but he's got a cannon. He was almost able to cut down Arenas coming home to score if the throw was a little bit more accurate. So, you know, Packard comes with, you know, it's a little inconsistency, I think, is what we're seeing from Bryant Packard. Maybe a couple of fundamental missteps as he came in on a fly ball that he should have backtracked on at first. So it's one of those things. He'll work it out. His bat is going to make up for it, though.
Hard ground ball to Oliver Dunn. This should do it. A 4-3 putout ends the inning. In the middle of the third, 5-1 Gatemen as the Chatham Anglers scratch one across. We're going to take a quick break, but then over to Ian Viscera with a look around the Cape League. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry.
And welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. Time for your look around the Cape. First off, we have the Hyannis Harborhawks taking on the Brewster Whitecaps, and Hyannis is looking to make it another win, and that's exactly what they're going to do tonight. They're winning 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Over in Bourne, the Cotuit Kettleers are taking on the Braves, as Bourne is winning in that one 4-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Over in Falmouth, the Orleans Firebirds trail the Commodores 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. And over in Harwich, the Mariners are down 1-0 to the YD Red Sox in the bottom of the 3rd. That's our Cape League update, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you so much, Ian. Back here at Spillane Field. A lot of shakeups in the standings yesterday. But Hyannis looking to cement their spot atop the West Division, like Ian said, leading the floundering Brewster Whitecaps. Fun fact, the Brewster Whitecaps, the only team with a worse run differential than the West Division leading Hyannis Harborhawks. The team at the top of the West.
Team at the top of the league.
Yeah, at the top of the league. No, you're right, JD. 19 points puts them ahead. 1 ahead of Wareham, 2 ahead of Harwich with 17. Brewster with a minus 28 run differential, Hyannis minus 7. Only 2 other teams negative, that's Orleans and Falmouth.
And that minus 7 run differential is a little bit inflated considering they beat the Gatemen by 8 yesterday. It was minus 17 heading into that one. Now they're plus 3 today as well. So as they continue to play a little bit better, as they continue to score runs, that run differential will come back toward the average.
Yeah, you can't have too many close wins and blowout losses and maintain your spot in first. Oliver Dunn is the batter. He led off the second inning, in which the Gatemen sent 9 men to the plate, walked and scored. But now staring at a 1-1 count from Troy Miller. Was really good in his inning of relief of Hunter Gaddis. 0-2. Got him looking. Oliver Dunn is retired. Really good breaking ball again from Miller. His numbers at Michigan pretty good as well. We'll talk about those in just a second. Dunn is retired, 1 out. Luke Roscom, the batter, with an infield single today. Second K of the day for Mr. Miller. A 3.38 ERA in his first year at Michigan. Opponent's batting 197 against him. Breaking ball misses up. 29 strikeouts and 34 innings of work. 20 walks as well, though, but a 3.38 ERA with a 197 batting average, all that tells you is some command issues as he misses 2-0 to Roscom. But as far as contact, when he's been able to locate, not a ton of good ones. Roscom in a good hitter's count here, 2-0. The pitch. Right down Broadway. Roscom probably looking for something inside to let that one go, 2-1. Skylar Hunter waits on deck. Reached on an error last inning. The 2-1. Hammered foul, 2-2. In the dirt, breaking ball missed. Count will run full to Roscom.
And I think this is part of the reason why Luke Roskam's on-base percentage is so much better than his batting average. He hasn't been able to really put the ball in play very much, but he's got a great eye at the plate considering how much power he has. Not very often you see a guy with that much power. As he displays it, putting a single into center field with as good an eye as he does. So Luke Roskam delivering on all fronts tonight. He's 2 for 2.
And that one got into center field in a hurry. Nothing cheap about that single. So 2 for 2, but he can feel good about that second single. That'll boost his batting average over the Mendoza line, I imagine. 222, it will indeed. 263, actually. As it updates even more, you can tell just with one base hit, his batting average going up 40 points. Change won't be as dramatic as he finds himself in the lineup more. Michael Amditas departing, making it a 2-catcher system as opposed to a 3-catcher one. Skylar Hunter lifts one into right field. Vogel coming over on a nice running grab on the line drive off the bat of Hunter. 2 down, Luke Roskam holds up at first. Jeremy Idens, 3 ABs in 3 innings. Unconventionally productive day at the plate for Idens. 0 for 1 strikeout, but was hit by a pitch in the second to drive in a run. Came around to score on the Brian Packard sacrifice fly. First pitch to him in the dirt. Roskam takes off as Sable has trouble with it, and the throw, a strike. Luke Roskam is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. Gatemen threatened but do not score. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, or top of the 4th, excuse me, from Spillane on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. My name's Henrique Demore. To my right is J.D. Rachi, and the guy on the bump is Joey Matulovic. His team has a 5-1 lead over the 3rd place in the East, Chatham Anglers, but not really trailing in that division by much, by just 3 points. A lot of ties and a lot of just over 500 records in the East. A bit of a log jam in the West as well, to be fair. But the Gatemen trying to push to 3-0 against the Chatham Anglers. Hammered them 12-4 on opening day. And we're 6-3 victors last Tuesday. Again here at Spillane. But more importantly, trying to bounce back from an embarrassing 9-1 loss at the hands of the Harbor Hawks at McKeon Park last night. Swinging a miss on the first pitch out of Matulovic's hand. Colin Simpson, the batter, followed by Ben Ramirez and Blake Sable, pair of USC Trojans batting 2-3 this inning. That one lifted straight back. Made me jump, 0-2. Matulovic's 47th pitch of the inning is a strike. He swings right through it, does Colin Simpson. 5th K of the day. That one brought to you by Langek, Safaris, and Bullard. Matulovic continues to look good here for the Gatemen.
What else is new? Joey Matulovic looks good on the mound. Hasn't had a bad appearance this season. He's given up, what, 1 earned run this year?
No.
Guy's been very, very good for Wareham.
Ben Ramirez, the batter. He's ahead 1-0 now. Roscom sets up low and outside. Gets it right there. Heck of a pitch. Extremely well located. Evens the count at 1-1. Infield straight up. Parks playing even with the bag at third. Swing and a miss. Took something off. It looked like a changeup there. 1-2. One-two hammered into left field. Packard going to take a couple steps in and make the catch. Very well played. One of those hard line drives are some of the toughest plays to make for an outfielder. A little tougher if you have to go back on it or stay still, but Packard saw that one dropping, took a couple steps in and redeemed himself. Saved what probably would have been a double if that got by him. Blake Sable is the batter. 1 for 1 today with a single out to Packard. Tips that one under the glove of Roscom, 1-0-1. 5-1 Gatemen. We're in the top of the fourth inning. Shows bunt, drops it down. Roscom, Matulovic to field it. 1-3 put out, incoming, and made. The Anglers go 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth inning. We go to the bottom half of the inning. 5-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Get Gatemen gear. Check out the latest styles and colors of your favorite Gatemen apparel. Also in stock, a large selection of Cape League items, including tickets to the All-Star Game. Test your pitching speed and pick up a souvenir ball, all at our merchandise booth.
Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Welcome back. Gatemen Baseball Network 5-1 in favor of the home team. Troy Miller out for his second inning of work. Second full inning anyway. Came on in relief of Hunter Gaddis, who despite a strong start to his summer on the Cape, was absolutely rocked by Gatemen bats, surrendering 5 runs, 4 of those earned. Troy Miller has looked good in relief. Blake Sable, who made the last out for the Anglers. He's out at catcher as he gets his catcher's gear back on. Taking his last warm-up pitches is Troy Miller, the junior from Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. And he will face 1-2-3 here in the top of the fourth inning. Jeremy Idens had his at-bat cut short as Luke Roscom tried to advance to second from first on a wild pitch, but a 2-6 put-out took care of him. Roscom not the most fleet of foot. Good at a lot of things on the baseball diamond, but stealing not in his arsenal. Idens takes ball 1 low. Gateman got 1 in the first, 4 in the second. But since Troy Miller has been on the bump, really not much to write home about. Besides a sacrifice fly from Packard. And a single by Luke Roscom, a nice diving play that robbed Paven Parks of a base hit. John Rave, living true to his last name with his defensive plays today, 2-1. Infield straight up. That one lifted into right field. Fogle ranging into foul ground, lays out but not able to make the catch. Got to apply the attempt there. But just a loud long strike at the end of the day. 2-2 to Jeremy Idens. Zahid Valenzuela and Austin Shenton, the other two batters. I will get a look at Miller here. Anglers came into today with a 2.92 team ERA. This will push them over the 3 mark, I imagine. Good for second best in the Cape League. Idens taps the plate twice, swings the bat once, and set. 2-2, breaking ball misses outside, count goes full. Mostly overcast skies at Spillane. The lights are on. First pitch 6:30. Getting just past the 7:30 mark here. As that one hit the dirt but caught enough of the plate for home plate umpire Joe Peters. And Jeremy Idens can't believe it. He walks back to the dugout in disbelief.
Can't really blame him there. That pitch certainly looked low from up here.
Yeah, not exactly a conventional strikeout. Is that one, I guess, might have caught enough of the zone, but it's rare you see a pitch that someone does not swing at and touches the dirt called for a looking strike.
Must have been a real late break.
That one breaks late as well, but not called a strike. 1-0 on Valenzuela. Third strikeout of the day for Miller. His breaking ball's been good, but it takes a truly extraordinary pitch to get a call like that. The 1-0. Breaking ball doesn't do much of breaking. 2-0 to Valenzuela. He's 2 for 2. Pair of RBIs and a run scored as well for the Gatemen shortstop. Now the 2-0 pitch. Chopped foul down the first base line. Breeze picking up ever so slightly, blowing from right to left. Gatemen have an off day tomorrow before a home-and-home against Hyannis. And the boys from Yarmouth Dennis come to town on Sunday. The 2-1 pitch. Weak swing, weak contact. Over to third. In foul territory, Ben Ramirez makes the grab, 2 down. Austin Shenton, the batter, 1 for 1 with a single and a walk as well. Has been stranded at second both times today. Think about how guys have regressed to the mean in their Cape League seasons this year. Even the great Andrew Vaughn, despite the numbers that he put up, batting average sank into the low 200s at one point. A couple of fantastic appearances on his way out, salvaged that though, as Shenton takes ball 1 outside. But this kid's still hitting .432 and has been in the lineup pretty much every day for the Gatemen. The 1-0. Low, bounced out of the glove of Sable behind the dish, 2-0. Valenzuela is well above the 400 mark. 2-0 offering. Miss low and in, 3-0.
Maybe a makeup call there. That pitch looked a lot better than what Jeremy Idens struck out on.
Yeah.
Looked a lot closer to the plate, although it is to a left-handed batter. This time Idens the right-handed batter, so maybe a different vantage point for the umpire. I'm not sure.
3-0 pitch taken all the way. Shenton is aboard with a 4-pitch walk. 2 out, something going for Bryant Packard. Oh for 1 fly out and a sac fly today.
The right fielder from East Carolina, number 6, Bryant Packard.
Like we said, JD, this is someone who we're expectantly waiting to get going power-wise. Batting .289, so has his fair share of base hits. He's been a consistent offensive producer for the Gatemen, but not in the caliber that that he can hit at. That one skied into right field. Going back on it is Fogle. He looks up. And it's gone, just as I say that, a 2-run shot for Bryant Packard. Seems like he's gotten something going. The Gatemen lead it 7-0, a 2-out rally here as the Gatemen push 2 more across.
Listen, I willed a bunt, reaching on a bunt from Skylar Hunter. You just willed a home run from Bryant Packard. I think yours is worth a little bit more here, although I would like to say that the sack bunt turned into an E5 for Skylar Hunter, ended up getting a 5-run inning going. So, you know, or a 4-run inning, I should say. So I think we're on level playing ground in terms of willing things into existence here.
So if a couple more runs come into play, I think I overtake you, though, in this inning.
But not really.
But he extended the inning.
But there's nobody else on.
He extended the inning. I think I'm gonna die on that hill. Maybe not the best one to die on, but here we are. Lockhart Jr. bats. Count is 1-1. Gatemen lead it 7-1 on a 2-run shot by Packard, his 3rd RBI of the day. That one, a laser into right field, going to get down for a base hit. Maybe extra bases. Fogel cuts it off. Thinking 2 and retreats, does Lockhart.
Good decision. Pretty good throw from Adam Fogel. Not a ton of speed for Lyle Lockhart.
The right choice indeed, and credit Fogel, like you said, a good throw, but also a really good angle taken on that one, and got off the bat of Lockhart in a hurry. Pavin Parks 0 for 2 today, was robbed of a base hit by John Raven center field in the 2nd to end that inning. And finally, the Gatemen seem to have figured something out against Troy Miller. That one skied about 1.5 miles high into center field. Rave is under it and makes the catch to retire the side. The Gatemen get 2 more on the Bryant Packard long ball. They lead it 7-1. We go to the top of the 5th here from Spillane on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a special occasion or just to treat yourself, you'll find what you're looking for in one of the 11 themed rooms. There's also a cafe serving fresh homemade lunches overlooking the extensive gardens. The Ansel S. Gurney House is located at 403 County Road in Marion.
The Bay Point Golf Club offers a unique collection of 18 championship golf holes, a beautiful banquet facility, and a club host that has a fully stocked pro shop. The Bay Point Grill is a perfect place to grab a meal or watch a game. The course is located off of Onset Avenue in Buzzards Bay. The Gatemen thank you for your support.
Are you hungry? Visit the concession stand for some new menu items. Try fried dough, chicken fingers, or french fries along with your regular favorites, hot dogs, burgers, cold drinks, and ice cream. Proceeds from the concession stand support the Gatemen and the Wareham High DECA program.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Joey Matulovic now working with a 6-run lead, his biggest of the day, as Bryant Packard went yard for the 2nd time in, I think, 4 games, if my mental math is correct. But either way, the power has shown up for the outfielder from Eastern Carolina University. Joey Matulovic, like I said, working with a pretty big lead, starting his 5th inning of work. Sat down the Anglers 1-2-3 in the 4th. He will face 8-9-1 Adam Fogel, Jorge Arenas, and John Rave. Fogel, the current Rainbow Warrior at Hawaii, takes a hack and a miss at that one, 0-1. One swing and a miss. High fastball, low breaking ball. Puts Fogel quickly behind 0-2. Matulovic has everything working today.
Like to see a breaking ball here on the outer half. Maybe waste it out there so you can get Fogel to chase.
No.
He did indeed try it, but Fogel held up 1-2. One-two lifted. Real deep into right field and runs out of room, does Iden, as that one clears the fence by about 30 feet. Not the outfield fence, but rather the fence running parallel-ish to the first baseline. So 1-2, Adam Fogel stays alive. From the wind-up the pitch, fouls it off again. You mentioned it last at-bat, but Fogel really not the guy that's going to hurt you. Struck out to end the 2nd inning, and a threat. As the Anglers had probably their best opportunity all day to score with 2 on and 1 out. Or 2 on and 2 outs, excuse me. Both guys at second and third. Fogle failed to deliver. Here comes the 1-2 to the right fielder. He lifts that one into shallow right field, into foul territory. Lockhart Jr. going over on it way back. Nice nifty catch at the last second. Lockhart Jr. with a mini web gem, and we've got 1 away in the 5th.
Now Lockhart delivering at the plate, now delivering in the field. Mentioned him as one of the guys we'd like to see kind of step up here in the absence of the Team USA guys, because not one guy is going to make up for the production of Andrew Vaughn or for Bryson Stott for that matter. So you'd like to see multiple guys step up and kind of a conglomeration of efforts resulting in some good offense here for the Gatemen as they have petered a little bit after starting 4-0 on the season.
I think that's kind of the best way to put it. After the 4-0 start to the season, the Gatemen 5-6 and have played under 500 ball or sub 500 ball. 1-1, 1 out. Base is empty here in the top of the 5th inning. Rip and a miss at a high fastball from Matulovic.
Go to that pitch again if you're Joe Matulovic. You've gotten Arenas to chase on 2 different pitches up and out of the zone. Why not a third?
And especially on 1-2, he'll be protecting, but looks at a strike on the outside corner. 6-1 of the day for Matulovic. Arenas is retired. That retirement brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Buller, the strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen.
Matulovic continues to impress here with the Gatemen. He has been absolutely stellar in every game he has played this year.
And we mentioned how he was drafted by the Brewers before the Cape League season got underway. Here's the 1-0. The first pitch makes it 1-0 to John Rave. 0-for-2 today from the windup to the center fielder. Outside 2-0. We mentioned how before the first game of the season he said, yeah, the scouts are going to be here in a couple weeks and that would help determine his future with the Gatemen and, you know, his path to the next level. But if they're here today, they've got to be really impressed with what they're seeing. 2-0 pitch, hard fastball, shot towards the Wareham dugout, 2-1. (7-1) Gatemen. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, or 4 in the second, 2 in the fourth. There we go. For Wareham, that one lifted into right field. Playable but shallow. Dunn going back on it, makes the grab for out number 3. Second straight 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway through this one. 7-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice. Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment.
Welcome back, Gatemen Baseball Network, and the home team leads it 7-1. They've knocked out the second pitcher of the day for Chatham. Troy Miller started off hot, but got into a little bit of trouble, surrendered 2 earned runs on 3 hits, also walked 1 and struck out 3 through his 3 innings of work. Here comes Spencer Van Snoy, 6'4" right-hander, excuse me. The third man to go. And it is not Van Scoy. In fact, that's who we originally thought, but it's in fact Davis Daniels. He's a right-hander. Van Scoy is a left-hander. So I lied once, sorry. I didn't lie twice, though. But the fact of the matter is he's pitching in a low-leverage situation, but the wrong kind. A lot of the type that the Gatemen found themselves in pretty frequently. Yesterday against Hyannis, we saw Tyler Ahern of Florida State make a pretty good start, or his first relief appearance in that one, as well as Jake Ralston of UCLA. 2 scoreless innings for him. Jack Ralston, the final UCLA Bruin that we had yet to see for the Gatemen, one of those mid-season call-ups. Davis Daniel will face 7, 8, 9, Oliver Dunn, Luke Roscom, and Skylar Hunter for the Gatemen. First pitch, hard fastball at the knees, well placed. Oliver Dunn batting just 103, trying to get the bat going and salvage his playing time. One and one. Daniel, glove over his head in the windup, the 1-1. Misses again with that hard fastball, 2-1. Infield straight up for Dunn. Now misses low and a good hitter's count, now 3-1. Davis Daniel out of Auburn. Originally from Montgomery, Alabama, so a Southern boy through and through as he walks Oliver Dunn on 5 pitches. Leadoff man aboard for Wareham.
Daniel, the Auburn Tiger, was on the same staff this year as #1 overall pick Casey Mize. And also a former Wareham Gateman is Mize. One of the finalists, along with Andrew Vaughn, for the Golden Spikes Award, awarded to the top player in college baseball. That decision coming up in just a couple of days. Casey Mize, the right-hander from Auburn. Right-hander Brady Singer from Florida. Cody Clemens, son of Roger from Texas. And Andrew Vaughn, the 4 finalists for the Golden Spikes Award.
And 2 of those guys, thanks to how abysmally the Detroit Tigers did last season, now in the minor league system for my team. So I'm very excited about that.
Congrats, your team's bad.
Yeah, we are.
Bad in the best way possible, I suppose.
Yeah. Dunn takes off from first. The throw down to second, not going to be made as Sable bobbles it. Awkward slide from Dunn, but pops right back up. Runner in scoring position now for Luke Roscom, who has hit the ball hard his last couple of times. Well, really just once. He had the number that resulted in a single, so he is 2 for 2. As pitcher and catcher playing with some signs, Sable motioned leftward from our vantage point with his glove a couple of times. Daniel flashing some numbers. Now they finally agree on it. The 1-1. Fastball in the dirt. 2-1 to Roscom. On deck, Skylar Hunter 0 for 2 with a run scored. The 2-1 offering. Chopper weakly hit. First base side. Gloved by English over to his pitcher, Daniel. To retire Roscom, that'll move the runner over. Productive AB for Luke. And with 1 out and a runner at third, here comes Skylar Hunter.
Talked about the bottom of this lineup has to produce here. Oliver Dunn delivers, leadoff walk. Luke Roscom moves him over. All the way up to third now. And Skylar Hunter has struggled at times this season, but as you mentioned, came into the day with one of the best RBI numbers on this team. So if he can deliver here again, he will continue having that clutch gene that you mentioned him having at the beginning of this broadcast. And all he has to do here is just send one out to the outfield in some way, shape, or form. Oliver Dunn with pretty good speed on at third base will pretty much be able to tag from anywhere.
Sophomore from Utah sits 90 feet away from giving the Gatemen a 7-run lead. It is 7-1 right now. Takes a strike on the outside corner to Skylar Hunter. 51, trying to drive in 50. Infield in for Chatham, trying to keep this one manageable. That one catches the outside corner. Really good frame from Sable. 1-2. Daniel comes set. Holds a glove belt high, looks up, kicks, fires. 1-2, swing and a miss. Got him on strike. Skylar Hunter is retired. Really good sequence from Daniel. Now with 2 outs and a man at third, it is up to Jeremy Idens.
That's pretty much the only outcome you couldn't have if you're Skylar Hunter in terms of getting that run in to score from third base. And now Jeremy Idens comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts, and the strikeout numbers have been way up for Idens in the last couple of games. So this is a spot where he really needs to try to come through and deliver here with a runner at third.
Yeah, try to get out of a slump in a big way, drive another run in. He has technically driven one in. Despite being 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in the second to push across a run.
Idens with now 7 strikeouts in his last 4 games. Dating back to the YD doubleheader, none in Game 1, 3 in Game 2. Last night at Hyannis, a pair for Idens, and then tonight already 2 for the UCLA right fielder.
And for those of you that don't know, 7 Ks in 4 games is not a great clip. Had only struck out 3 times in his previous 7 games, though. Swing and a miss. Chased a fastball up and away, 1-2.
And it's not like he's a guy that struck out a ton at UCLA this season. 19 walks, 45 strikeouts in 50 games, so he struck out less than 1 time per game. The walks were pretty good walk numbers. On base was 422, so wasn't a high strikeout guy there either.
Got him looking on the outside corners. Idens can't seem to win today. 3rd strikeout of the day for him. The Gatemen strand 1 and score 0. We go to the top of the 6th inning here from Spillane Field. The Gatemen do lead it, though, 7-1. We'll be right back.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served Southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs. The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
Welcome back onto the Gatemen Baseball Network. 7-1 Wareham over Chatham, trying to push their record to 3-0 against their foes from the Eastern Division. Joey Matulovic, meanwhile, his day is done. 5 innings of work, 1 run, it was unearned. So still keeping that ERA nice and low. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Or the junior from Cal, heck of an outing, but what's new? Scattered just 3 hits as well over those 5 strong. And now in to pitch for the Gatemen. Number 17, Nathan Florence. Florence out of Wilbraham, Massachusetts, but college-wise out of Hartford, University of Hartford. 2 relief appearances this year for Wareham, and they have not gone according to plan. Albeit slightly inflated, 10.8 ERA. He's given up 4 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings of work, but 5 strikeouts to go with that. Has also let up 5 walks, though. So there are some positives in Florence's arsenal here. He's gotten the strikeout quite a bit, but has struggled with command. Misses upstairs to Greg Jones to start off his day. Misses in the same spot again with a different pitch, 2-0.
This pitching change, as every pitching change for the Gatemen, is brought to you by the Bay Point Club, Onset's 18-hole championship golf course. The driving range opens 7 days a week, and senior discounts offered every day. We are always welcome to the public, so go. Get to the point.
Florence, we mentioned it, out of Hartford. Sends a 2-1, and Greg Jones hammers that one deep into right field. You can forget about it. A no-doubter for the Chatham shortstop to chip into this lead. Make that 7-2. Nathan Florence off to a rough start in his third relief appearance.
Greg Jones, not a big guy. More known for his speed this year at UNCW, but he has 3 home runs on the season for Chatham. He is just hitting the cover off the ball when he gets a hold of it. He has been very, very impressive. This season with UNCW, only 4 home runs. He's got 3 on the Cape, and he's only played in about 11 or 12 games.
And now that one hammered into deep left field off the bat of English. You can say goodbye to that one. Back-to-back home runs on back-to-back pitches. 2 solo shots for the 2-3 guys, and now it's 7-3 Gatemen. Tristan English, though, more likely suspect for the long ball.
Yeah, I'd say so. English this season, 6 home runs at Georgia Tech, so only 2 more than Greg Jones. But when you look at the slugging percentages, Jones' slugging percentage at .370, English at .442, but at his peak last year, the slugging percentage was in the 500s for English. So, or excuse me, .477 for English in his freshman year.
Ball 1 low to Kyle McCann, as the Anglers have gotten things going in explosive fashion here. 1-0 misses high again, 2-0. Seems like this is Florence's mess to clean up this inning, though. With a 4-run lead, the Gatemen are still relatively safe, swinging a miss. 2-1 on the fastball high. Florence's numbers at Hartford, an everyday starter for them. That one lifted into center, into right field, going back on it. Idens, but has a beat on it. He'll make the catch a few feet shy of the track. 1 out, but my goodness, 3 very hard hit balls off Florence.
Right field, not the short porch here at Spillane. Left field, 315 to dead left field to straightaway left field. So maybe if McCann had hit it the other way, that ball probably gone as Idens retreated to the imaginary warning track here at Spillane. But, you know, 3 well-hit balls against Nathan Florence. He's not locating the breaking ball well, so.
Yeah, that'll happen. Check this swing on that one. No appeal or anything made. Count evens 1-1 to Colin Simpson.
Long frame from Luke Roscom. He sure thought it was a good pitch.
Yeah, he tried to milk it. 1-1. Lifted high and deep into left center field. Packard and Hunter converging on it. Packard makes the catch a few feet shy of the track. 2 up, 2 down. But again, 4 really hard hit balls. The location on the breaking ball's got to get better from Florence.
And this isn't something you typically expect from a guy like Nathan Florence. 93 strikeouts this season at Hartford and 85 2/3 innings. That's more than a strikeout a game. He is not a guy that will hit hard against that you can hit hard against, but the Chatham Anglers batters have done a fantastic job of putting charges into balls that frankly just have left something to desire from them location-wise.
Yeah, no, I think you said everything I could have wanted to say. Florence doing a nice job of bouncing back in this at-bat, though, keeping the breaking ball down to Ben Ramirez. Third baseman from the University of Southern California. He's 0 for 2 and has an 0-2 count on him. That one misses upstairs. Good waist pitch. On deck, Blake Sable, fellow USC Trojan, behind the dish today for Chatham. The 1-2. Fastball missed low with it, 2-2. Two, right into the plexiglass. Man, are we glad we have that here. (7-3) Gatemen pair of solo shots for Chatham, but they still trail it by 4. Florence the 2-2 breaking ball upstairs, missed with it. Luke Roscom Shoves both hands down, saying, keep it down, Nate. Full count offering, swing and a miss on an ugly pitch. But the side is retired. Nathan Florence, after giving up 2 long home runs, sits him down 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're going to take a quick break here. But when we come back, Ian Becerra with our look around the Cape League update before the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
And welcome back for your second Cape League update of the night. 2 games have gone final. Hyannis beat Brewster 7-5. Pedro Pages with 3 RBI and Matthew Barefoot with 3 hits. 2 guys who hurt the Gatemen yesterday, back at it again today. And the other game to go final was Orleans against the Falmouth Commodores. Falmouth won that game 1-0. Logan Davidson with an RBI single in the 3rd, and that was the only run scored in that game. Over in Bourne, Cotuit leads the Braves 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th. And then over in Harwich, the Mariners trail the YD Red Sox 2-1 in the top of the 6th. That's your last Cape League update of the night. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much, as always, Ian. A couple games going final. Most importantly for Wareham, still early in the season to do too much scoreboard watching, but the Harbor Hawks will retain first place regardless of the outcome of this one, which just got a little bit closer. Gatemen came into the top of the 6th, leading it 7-1. Back-to-back solo shots made it 7-3 though. Davis Daniel back on the bump, sophomore from Auburn. As they're getting some defensive substitutions here. We will get you all of those once we have it squared away and our scorebooks updated, all that fun stuff. JD, to my right, intelligently a pencil user. To be honest, no real reason other than I like the way it looks and I'm a little prideful and stubborn with my scorebook keeping, so I use pen. Cam Stewart doing the call for WCTV out there behind the left field bleachers, also a pen user, but JD, I guess, a smarter man than us both, as he writes down the defensive substitution. He nods in agreement. Base is empty, no one out. Sahid Valenzuela set to go. Sends a first pitch he sees foul, 0-1. Daniel Davis, pair of strikeouts and a walk. Back in the 5th inning. The 0-1, Sable behind the plate, setting up low and in. Rocket right into the screen in front of the Chatham dugout. Got lucky on that one. 0-2, a hard strike off the bat of Valenzuela. The 0-2. Swinging a high drive into center field, but playable. In on it is the new the new center fielder, Greg Jones. And that's 1 up, 1 down. Greg Jones in center. The new shortstop, Jorge Arenas, as he moves over from second to short. That one lifted off the bat of Shenton, foul. At second base, not entirely sure exactly who that is. We'll have that for you shortly, though. J.D. Ranchi hard at work to my right. That one lifted straight back, 0-2. Infield straight up. Bases empty, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Shenton trying to convert. Dives out of the way of that one, and it hit him. So Austin Shenton aboard with the 0-2 hit by pitch. Still 1 for 1 today in 4 plate appearances. Was walked twice and was hit by that one. That one low to Brian Packard. Has turned it on as of late. A hard hit sac fly and a long home run to right field. Put him at 3 RBIs on the day. With a run scored, 1 for 2 is the Gatemen left fielder. The 1-0. Daniel deals from the stretch. Breaking ball, late call. Barely got enough of the outside corner, 1-1. JD, what do you have for us?
Well, after much calculation and looking at the roster and trying to figure out what the heck is going on, Greg Jones, the starting shortstop, is now out in center. He made the first out of the inning against Zahid Valenzuela. Moving from second to short is now Jorge Arenas from Stetson. And coming into the game, the #1 junior college prospect in the country, headed to Auburn next season, the second baseman, Rankin Woley.
Thank you very much, JD. Swing and a miss on a hard fastball, 2-2, Shenton. That is actually strike 3, my apologies. Cut on it and missed. Third strikeout of the day for Davis. Rankin Woley, as you mentioned, a very highly touted prospect. He's out there playing second base. We'll see him offensively next time the lineup card flips over to the top of the inning. You were saying, JD.
So if everything stays the same and there weren't any double switches or anything crazy, Woley will bat in the leadoff spot moving forward, as he was actually the only new person to come into the game. Even though he's not playing center, he was the substitution for John Rave.
Yeah, nope, that makes a lot of sense for those of you keeping score at home. Hopefully that helped. That one in the dirt. Did it hit him? Well, Lockhart's certainly limping like it did, and they are going to send him to first. That got him on the foot. Breaking ball tailed into the left-hander Lockhart and got him on the back foot. So Shenton moves up to second. A strikeout, a flyout, and 2 men hit by pitches. And Pevin Park's going to get an opportunity here. He's 0 for 3, though.
But the first pitch, or the second at-bat he hit a ball incredibly well into center field before John Rave robbed him of what would have probably been an RBI for him as well. He had runners at second and third. Could have possibly been 2 for Pavin Park, so he has hit the ball well at least once today.
Good numbers at Kent State his junior year. Batted just a shade under 300. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Playing in that number 16 jersey. Formerly Andrew Vaughn's, of course. Gatemen lead at 7-3, 2 on, 2 out for Pavin. Sable sets up low and into the lefty. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Heck of a fastball, 0-2.
Pavin Park swung so hard the elbow protector on his right arm came flying off. He wanted all of that one, and when a guy like Daniel is throwing that hard to you, he's providing a lot of the power. All you have to do is put a good stroke on one, and you could easily leave the yard.
Very true. The harder they come in, the faster they come out. 2 down, 2 on. The 0-2 to Parks. Swinging a high fly ball into center field. Going back on it, Jones. Still going back. Reaches up and makes the catch over his shoulder. And the side is retired. Gatemen Strand 2 scores 0. We go to the top of the bottom. My goodness, the top of the 7th inning. My apologies, from Spillane Field. Gatemen lead at 7-3 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent, or for live music every weekend, located on Route 105 in Marion.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. 7-3 is your score. Nathan Florence back to work. For the Gatemen, he gave up solo shots on back-to-back pitches to start off the 6th inning, but sat down the next 3 guys in order. He'll face 7, 8, 9, Blake Sable, Adam Fogel, and Jorge Arenas. Arenas moved, of course, from second base to shortstop. Greg Jones, who bats second, moves from short to center field. And I imagine the defensive substitution will be reflected offensively as John Rave relinquished his spot in the field. So we'll see that unless the Anglers get sat down 1-2-3 here. Nathan Florence trying to make that a certainty. After missing with the first pitch, gets a strike right down the middle. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball out of the hand of Florence. Sable batting a pretty mediocre .238 this year on the Cape. Breaking ball missed low. Good pitch on 1-2. Pretty good numbers at SC his sophomore year, though. .276 average, up from .250 his freshman year. 8 stolen bases as well for the catcher today for the Anglers. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Second K of the day for Nathan Florence. That one brought to you, of course, by Lang, Exafaris, and Buller, the official strikeout sponsor of your Wareham Gatemen. Adam Fogel, the batter. My apologies. It looks like we've got a pinch hitter in for Fogel. It's number 31, Ashton McGee, out of UNC Chapel Hill. Listed as an infielder, though, so we'll see who takes over that right field spot. That one pops out of the glove of Luke Roscom, 3-0.
He'll likely take it over, actually. Was the everyday second baseman for UNC as a freshman, was freshman of the year in the conference, had a stellar season, was slated to be the everyday second baseman this year for Chapel Hill, but got off to a very slow start, was hitting under 200. They actually benched him for a couple of games. Eventually came back and became the everyday left fielder for the Tar Heels, a team that went all the way to the College World Series in Omaha, so he can play both the infield and outfield. Although it is possible that we will see a defensive substitution, Ashton McGee can certainly hold his own and right.
Meanwhile, he's managed to dig himself into a hole here. It was ahead 3-0, but Florence has bounced back nicely and gets a fastball upstairs, ripping a miss from Ashton McGee. Got him on strikes again. Now 3 straight strikeouts going back to the 6th inning for Florence. How about that for a way to bounce back from 4 of the hardest hit balls we've seen today off Chatham bats? That one brought to you by Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, of course, as always. Jorge Arenas, the batter. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Scored what was then the first and only Chatham Anglers run of the day back in the 3rd inning. The 0-1 to him. Skied into foul territory, right side. Lockhart Jr. ranging over right on the right field line and makes the catch for out number 3. The side is retired. Nathan Florence with an unbelievably efficient inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time here at Spillane, but right now we want to throw it over to our sideline reporter, Mary Orders, who has a very exciting guest for us. Jan Volk, the official photographer of the Cape Cod League, with an interesting past.
Could you sit on this side, please? Thank
I'm here with Jan Volk, who is the official Cape Cod League photographer. And before the Cape, you were in the Celtics organization. You were actually the GM for a little over a decade. Can you explain that transition from in the front office to on the field behind the camera?
Well, let me start with this. I'm not the official photographer. My company is. That's Sports Picks. There are a number of us that shoot. But I left the Celtics, the day before Rick Pitino ascended to the throne in 1997. And I worked for other teams. I worked for two other teams. I worked for the Denver Nuggets for 2 or 3 years, and I worked for almost 10 years for the ownership of the Atlanta Hawks, or one of the owners of the Atlanta Hawks. As far as transitioning, I was a photographer long before I was working for the Celtics. I was
more like a hobby?
Yes, absolutely. I started shooting when I was in college, way longer ago than I want to admit. And through my career with the Celtics, I was shooting other things, not basketball, but in some cases sports for some local colleges. And it was just a natural transition into something like this. We've been doing this. SportsFix has been doing this. This will be our 19th season, so it's a long time.
And what is one of your favorite things about being on the Cape, shooting the Cape League?
Well, as my granddaughter said, she lives in Cleveland and comes and visits us in the summertime. She says what she loves about the Cape is it's always summer. We're here when the weather's beautiful. When you come over the bridge, there's kind of a relief. Whatever anxieties you have just are purged.
Jan, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mary. How about that? Former Celtics GM now heading the company that takes officially all the pictures for the premier summer ball league in the country. Heck of a story. Thank you so much, Mary, again for bringing that to us. Meanwhile, on the field, bottom of the 7th inning, 7-8-9 to face Davis Daniel. Oliver Dunn ahead in the count, 2-1. 7-3, Gateman is your score. Nathan Florence with the bounce-back inning of the century. Looked absolutely awesome. Just a lot more confidence. Went after Chatham Anglers hitters and made mincemeat of the bottom of the Chatham order. His team leads it by 4. And Chatham with just 2 innings left to do something about this 4-run deficit. Meanwhile, Oliver Dunn will reach again via the walk. 3 walks for him today, the sophomore from Utah, with a stolen base and a run scored as well on the day.
The catcher from Nebraska, number 14, Luke Roscoe.
Now Luke Roscom, the batter. 2 for 3 today, a run scored as well for him. Tall lefty stance, wiggles the bat and chases a pitch at his neck. 1-0-1. Roscom at Nebraska batted in the high 200s, an excellent freshman campaign. Saw him play with the Duluth Huskies of the Northwoods League, a team which you could probably tell I broadcasted for based on the number of times I mentioned it as Oliver Dunn takes off, but Luke Roscom chops that one foul, 0-2. And the number of times I've mistakenly, just out of force of habit, called the Cape Cod League the Northwoods League. My apologies, just old habits. But Roscom, I remember, in his first at-bat with the Huskies at Wade Stadium, which has the longest outfield fence of any stadium in the Northwoods League, put an absolute charge into one on a low inside fastball over the right field wall. Continued to do a lot more of that in the Northwoods League last summer. Has yet to put one out here as he takes a fastball, 1-2. But has shown extra base power and has hit a couple balls hard. From the stretch. The 1-2 from Daniel. Here it comes. Chopper, first base side, could be 2. 3-6, back to first. In time, a double play. A bang-bang play at first, but Luke Roscom on the short end of the stick there. Now with 2 outs and the base is empty, Skylar Hunter is the batter.
The center fielder from Purdue, number
0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Reached on an error back in the second inning. First pitch rifled straight back, 0-1. Breeze has all but disappeared. The sun has fully set. Lights on here at Spillane. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses way outside, 1-1. Skylar Hunter and the Gatemen trying to make it 10-6 on the year. 7-1 at home and 3-0 against these Chatham Anglers. That one lifted high but foul down the third base line. 1-2. Davis Daniel been pretty good in relief for Chatham. First couple guys, notably Hunter Gaddis, getting absolutely shelled. And Troy Miller, to his credit, from Michigan, the second reliever, or first reliever, second pitcher, I should say, for Chatham. Looked pretty much unhittable until he wasn't. The Gatemen figured him out, second trip around the order. But Davis Daniel, no runs, no hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts through the 11 batters that he has faced. 2 down, the 1-2. Swinging a foul off his foot. Skylar Hunter stays alive, albeit painfully. Bats with a crouched open stance. The 1-2. Swinging a foul straight back, putting together a pretty good AB. Skylar Hunter trying to reach for the second time today. First team all Big Ten tournament at Purdue, hit over 300 this year for the Boilermakers. On the team that won the Big Ten tournament. From the windup, the 1-2 from Daniel. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. He actually got a piece of it now that I correct myself. So he stays alive, 1-2. Got a piece of Sable there behind the plate. Davis Daniel decides he doesn't like that baseball. He wants a new one. Now we'll do it yet again. The 1-2 from the windup over his head and towards the plate. Daniel swinging a tip again. My goodness, Skylar Hunter. Bases are empty here. The Gatemen lead it by 4 in the bottom of the 7th, 7-3. Again with the 1-2. Inside 2-2, the count evens. I like that pitch, though, on 1-2.
Pretty good fastball on the inner half. Would have tied Skylar Hunter up in knots if he had gotten him to swing. Have some room to work with. Pretty good waist pitch.
Now the 2-2. Breaking ball hammered into center field for a base hit. Skylar Hunter wins a long, hard-fought at-bat. Gatemen have a base runner with 2 down.
It's what you want to see if you're Don Snedden out of Skylar Hunter. Guy that struggled with the bat at the plate this season. Works a really tough at-bat against a really good pitcher in Davis Daniel out of the SEC. And Skylar Hunter delivers with a 2-out single. Now Jeremy Idens trying to erase the 0 for today, 0 for 3 with a trio of strikeouts. The strikeout has continued to be a problem for Idens.
Trying to bounce back here, maybe put a charge into one. We saw him hit one a long, long way in his first at-bat as a Gateman off the left center field fence. Takes strike 1 here, though, 0-1. From the stretch, Hunter takes off. The throw down to second. In time, but under the tag is Skylar Hunter. So pretty good throw from Sable, especially off the bounce like that. Now with a runner in scoring position, Jeremy Idens will get a little bit of a better chance to break out of a slump here.
That's not a great tag right there. They had him timed up perfectly. Skylar Hunter should have been meat, but the tag came in high on his leg, and he was able to sneak his toe underneath the tag and into second base for a stolen base.
And now he's going to try for third, but Idens is going to lift that one into right center field. Looks like it's playable for Jones. Reaches up and makes the catch. We're out number 3. The Gatemen get one aboard with 2 down, but are not able to convert. We go to the top of the 8th here from Spillane Field, 7-3 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, 7-3 Gatemen. Gateman threatened but did not score in the bottom of the 7th inning, so we go to the top of the 8th inning. Third man at work for the Gatemen on the bump anyway. And it's Zach Hart of Franklin Pierce. Nathan Florence, despite giving up the 2 long balls, looked pretty darn good otherwise. Gave up those 2 earned runs on just those 2 hits, struck out 3, walked 0 in his 2 innings of work, did Florence. Now Hart working in a relatively low leverage situation. We talked about it in the pregame show, JD. Chance for the bullpen to shine here.
Yeah, they shined well last night in a low-leverage situation against Hyannis, but that was with an 8-run deficit. Here you got a pretty, not as low leverage. 4 runs is still a surmountable, not an insurmountable lead for the Gatemen, so Chatham could come back, but Zach Hart has been pretty impressive this season in the games he has pitched out of Franklin Pierce. He's got a good fastball. Not a guy that's going to strike out a lot of guys, pitches to contact, but pitches very well. Ground ball guy more than anything else.
Delivers strike 1 on the outside corner to the leadoff man who we mentioned came on as a substitution with, what a name, Rankin Woley out of Atlanta, Georgia, #1 JUCO prospect in the nation. 1-1 to him, though. But sends a high drive into right field, but pretty much right at Jeremy Idens. Takes a few leisurely steps in and retires Woley. We're on #1.
And this pitching change for Zach Hart, as always, brought to you by the Bay Point Club on Set's 18-hole championship golf course. With a driving range open 7 to 8 days a week and senior discounts offered every day, Bay Point is always welcome to the public. So go. Get to the point. What? I thought that was good delivery.
It was. I just wasn't expecting it. Chopped on the 0-1 pitch. Greg Jones with a quick 4-3 putout. As in, he was quick up the line, made it a bang-bang play, but Oliver Dunn secured the bag, as it were. We're out #2. Bases empty now for Tristan English.
Coming at me with secured the bag?
That's all I could think of. I'm sorry.
There are a lot of implications with that phraseology, Mr. DeMore, with college athletes on the field.
Okay, I didn't think about that. I was thinking more of a, more as they say in the rap music, that these college athletes are probably listening to these days. Not as much baseball players, though. Baseball players more of a country music breed. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 0-2 very quickly to Mr. English. Zach Hart trying to make it a quick inning, and he just might. Nubber over to the shortstop Valenzuela across the diamond. In time, Lyle Lockhart with a stretch. And a very quick inning for Zach Hart. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning from Spillane. 7-3 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone, a home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, 7-3 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Same arm on the bump, and it's been an effective one. Davis Daniel has sat down the Gatemen pretty efficiently here. 1 hit, no runs earned or otherwise, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts over 3 innings of work. The first 2 guys to go for Chatham had given up 7 runs, 6 of those earned, and walked 3. Now behind the plate, a defensive substitution. Have that for you shortly. It's Nick Kale out of the University of Washington, originally from Simi Valley, California. He'll take over the catching duties. Blake Sable's day is done, probably reflected offensively as well. When the Chatham Anglers get their last cracks at Gateman pitching in the top of the 9th inning. Sable's spot 4th due up in the 9th inning for Chatham, so we might get to see him at the plate. Kale's Washington Huskies had a heck of a run in the NCAA tournament, a historic one for that program, but knocked out by Mississippi State, right? All right. Well,
knocked out at some point in the College World Series in Omaha.
They went deep.
8 teams heading there.
Yeah.
Finals now between Oregon State and Arkansas. A couple of supposed to be Gatemen on that Arkansas Razorbacks team. Dominic Fletcher as well as Matt Cronin.
That one is lifted shallow, left side of the infield. Over on it is Ben Ramirez. Makes the grab for out number 1. Quick one here. Zahid Valenzuela retired, moves to 2 for 5 on the day. Still a heck of a day for the Cal State Fullerton shortstop.
Continues to produce 2 for 5 day. That's 400.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hitting 400 every single day, you're doing something right.
Doing something very right. Austin Shenton, the batter here.
This is kind of a new situation for Nick Kale behind the plate. Coming in as a replacement, this season caught 96.3% of Washington's innings. Started all 61 games and hit .293, Pac-12 all-conference team member.
If nothing else, for durability, especially the catcher position. I mean, that takes a toll on you physically. And he's not wearing knee savers behind the plate.
And he also might be able to help himself out later in his career. If he does not make it in baseball, wants to be either a physical therapist or a baseball agent, so he's probably learning at least something in college that'll help him out with that knee issue if it ever does become one, as it typically does for many catchers.
Yeah, a lot of times nothing you can do to help it, as that one dings Shenton. It did not. I thought I got him on the elbow. It deflected off something. I thought it was his elbow. Spoke a little prematurely. My apologies. So Shenton, probably better for the Gatemen. He'll get another crack at things. Waiting on the 3-1. Kale sets up low, gets one high and fouls it off. Full count. Offering coming up in just a second. 3 walks on the day for Austin Shenton, a run scored and a single as well. That one right down the middle, caught enough of the zone for the home plate umpire, Joe Peters. And Austin Shenton retired, his first strikeout of the day. But the 4th of the day for Davis Daniel. 2 down for Brian Packard, the left fielding sophomore from Eastern Carolina. 2-run shot in the 4th highlights his day.
Pitching coach now coming out to have a chat with Davis Daniel on the mound. He's gone through 3 strong thus far, 3 2/3 now with the 2 outs in this inning. So We'll see if they make a change here, and it looks like they're going to.
That's surprising. Daniel has been nothing short of electric for the Anglers.
Got to imagine they might be bringing in a left-hander here to face Bryant Packard, perhaps.
Yeah, so despite the 4-run deficit, Anglers, if that's the case, yep, and a left-hander it is. Playing to win. We'll have all his information for you when we come back at the bottom of the 8th inning. All of a sudden just got interesting with 2 outs and the bases empty on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions for children 5 to 14. We also have 2 special sessions for hitting and pitching open to teens. Registration is available online at gatemen.org or through forms available at the merchandise booth.
The 80 Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU structural soil and Rooflight certified green roof media. Reed Custom Soils is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mix and conditioners. To learn more, visit 80makepeace.com or reedcustomsoils.com.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. My name's Henrique Demore. To my right, J.D. Rauchi. Pitching change here, a lefty brought in as predicted. And we thought initially it was going to be Jeff Belch. We misread the jersey number, though. Instead of 14, it's 44, Nick Scheidler, another former Duluth Husky. I love it. He's a junior from the University of California at Los Angeles, otherwise known as UCLA out in Westwood. Had a pretty good year with the Huskies, was their number 2 guy as a starter last year for the Huskies of the Northwoods League, but a pretty good year at UCLA this year as well. He will face the lefty Bryant Packard here with the bases empty and 2 down.
It's funny that they bring in Scheidler to pitch here as a left-hander against the lefty Packard, because on his roster bio for UCLA, one thing you might not know about him is he is not naturally left-handed. He pitches left-handed, but writes and does a lot of the other everyday tasks with his right hand.
That is very surprising. But delivers a nasty breaking ball that falls in the zone to Bryant Packard. Just finished up his sophomore year at UCLA. Much improved from a freshman campaign this saw him with a 5.28 ERA, exclusively a bullpen guy, 37 appearances, 34 innings of work, 32 strikeouts as well. Opponent's hitting a pretty average 266 off him. Bryant Packard fouls the 0-1 straight back. Very quickly 0-2 to the Gateman cleanup hitter. Scheidler ready with the 0-2. Takes a deep breath. Kale sets up low. The 0-2. Did he go around? They're going to say he did to complete the strikeout. Kale fires over to first, and the side is retired. Scheidler comes in, registers his first strikeout of the day, and the Gatemen are done. Chatham with their last chance in the top of the 9th. They trail by 4 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
At E.L. Morse Lumber, commitment to the customer shines through in every aspect of their daily operations, including their competitive prices, complete product selection, and superior customer care. Visit E.L. Morse Lumber, located on Cranberry Highway in Wareham, for service with a personal touch.
Established in 1877, TM Ryder is a family-run insurance agency located in downtown Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Ryder's goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen. Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network
Here from Spillane Field, it is the home team leading 7-3, trying to push their record to 10-6 on the year. Hyannis, though, the first team on the Cape to 10 wins, if you can believe that. They took down the hapless Brewster Whitecaps. 7-5 is your final from Brewster in a 3-hour affair. That one chopped lazily down the first base line. Zach Hart will be the man to close it out for the Gatemen. A 4-run deficit, so not a safe situation. Falmouth has won their 4th straight game. My goodness. They beat Orleans 1-0. Cotuit and Bourne locked in a good one in the bottom of the 8th, 6-5. YD and Harwich in an East Division battle. 2-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball from Hart, 0-2.
Might not be a save situation from Zach Hart, but it could pick up the ever-coveted hold.
Yummy.
You know that's the kind of stat they keep. Trevor Hoffman, doesn't matter. Mariano Rivera, who cares about saves? Who's the all-time MLB leader in holds? That's the man I want to meet.
Sure, we could find that for you in a matter of seconds. Lazy fly ball, meanwhile, hit off the bat of Kyle McCann of Georgia Tech. Over to Jeremy Idens in right for out number 1.
Little update from the U.S. Collegiate National Team.
Oh, I know some of those guys.
Bryson Stott, a walk-off single tonight.
Hey!
First game of the year for the USA Baseball College National Team, beating the Coastal Plain Select League. So I'm assuming that's the Coastal Plain All-Stars, or at least All-Stars thus far. So Bryson Stott delivering at a big moment.
You would think so, yeah. Wow. Look at that. Former Gatemen doing big things, making good on their Team USA selections. The 1-1, that one tipped foul. Colin Simpson behind 1-2 with 1 out and the base is empty. And in that last inning, Blake Sable actually moved to first base. So Nick Cale took the lineup spot of Tristan English. Or at least that's what we got on point streak here.
Career holds leader Matt Thornton.
That one driven into center field for an easy out. 2 up, 2 down into the glove of Hunter. Who is Matt Thornton?
Or excuse me, the career holds leader in the AL is Matt Thornton. 182 exclusively with American League teams. Chad Qualls the most in National League history, 151. But Arthur Rhodes, 231 holds on his career, is the all-time holds leader in MLB history.
Well, I had no idea who any of those guys were before you brought them up, so thank you, JD.
Never heard of Chad Qualls? He played with the Padres for a while.
Nah, never really heard of him. Ball 1 inside to Drew Mendoza, the pinch hitter here. Sends that one high and deep into left field. Packard giving chase, but gives up on it as it exits play, 1-1.
Arthur Rhodes, a left-hander, spent much of his career with the Texas Rangers. Played with the Orioles, the Mariners, the A's, the Indians, the Phillies, the Mariners again, the Marlins, the Reds, the Rangers, and the Cardinals.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Zach Hart, 1 strike away from getting out of this one. Wow, a journeyman.
2010 NL All-Star with the Reds and a 2011 World Series champ with the St. Louis Cardinals.
The 1-2, Hart trying to get out of the ball game here. Misses with that one, though, 2-2.
So now you're all up to date on the all-time holds leader, Arthur Rhodes.
Besides a Gateman win, what more could you want out of this broadcast? I don't think much else.
I'd say nothing.
Yeah. 2-2, that one lifted high and foul, so we'll do it again. Bases are empty. Chatham trails it by 4. Well, the loss today would move to 0-3 against these Wareham Gatemen. And Chatham, a bona fide, it is a heck of a team. This is not an easy win by any stretch of the imagination. But the Gatemen beat them by 8 the first time, 3 the second time. We're on the verge of beating them by 4 right now. Zach Hart, the 2-2, missed upstairs, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch, fouled off straight back. We'll do it again. Another full count offering coming here out of the hand of Hart.
Doing it against a pretty good hitter here in Ben Ramirez, so He faced 1, 2, 3, Woolley, Jones, English, and then McCann and Simpson also both pretty good hitters. So top of the order, 1 through 6 is what Hart has faced thus far. So if he is going to pick up the hold, it will be against some of the better hitters in this Chatham lineup. Probably the best hitters in this Chatham lineup, all things considered.
Yeah, no kidding. You missed Tristan English, but other than that, I think your statement rings true. 2 down, bases empty, the full count offering. Upstairs, he lost him. A hard-fought at-bat, but he couldn't finish him off. Drew Mendoza makes good on his pinch hit appearance, and he is aboard with 2 down. Blake Sable still the batter. We thought he was replaced directly by Nick Cale, but Sable moved over to first.
They likely moved Sable into the DH spot. So Cale actually came in to replace Kyle McCann, who had been the original DH. As now Austin Wilhite is going to come in and pinch run here for the Anglers.
It is Austin Wilhite, the sophomore from Georgia Tech. Just one Georgia. 5'9", 175, speedy dude, originally from Buford, Georgia. Mendoza made good on his appearance. Now trying to do some damage on the base paths. Strike 1 is delivered to Mr. Sable.
And actually what happened is Cale came in and replaced the batting spot of Tristan English.
There you go. As that one is lifted high into right field, converging on it, Lockhart and Idens. Lockhart's got a beat on it, but Idens calls him off, and the game is over. Zach Hart, phenomenal through these last 2 innings of relief, gave up just a walk, but otherwise retired the top of the Anglers' order in order, and the Gatemen walk away victors 7-3. Joey Matulovic was masterful. Nathan Florence, after a shaky start, was absolutely dominant out of the pen, and Zach Hart closed the door on these Chatham Anglers. Got off to a rough start, though, pitching-wise. Hunter Gaddis gave up 5 runs, 4 of them earned, couldn't even get out of the second inning. As the Gatemen just piled it on, scored 4 in the second, 1 in the first as well, 2 in the fourth. That was enough to beat the Anglers by 4. Gatemen move it to second. They stay in second place. I had a bunch of thoughts in my head at once. They stay at second place because Hyannis won as well, but they are the second team on the Cape to 10 wins, just a point behind the West Division leading Harbor Hawks. But they move it to 10-6 on the year, 3-0 against the Gatemen, and a remarkable 7-1 here at Spillane Field. They're off tomorrow, but we are going to say bye here from the Wareham Gatemen Baseball Network. JD, any final thoughts on this one?
Big win for the Gatemen here. Bounce back win after a really rough stretch in the last couple of games. A 2-game losing streak coming into this one. A good Chatham team, so a big win here for the Wareham Gatemen gets them back on the right track.
Couldn't have said it better myself. A big win to get things back on track for the Gatemen. Now 6-6 since that 4-0 start to the year. Retaining second place in the West to Joey Matulovic, a remarkable start. He gets my player of the game as far as I'm concerned. Leaves that ERA under 1. The 1 run that he did give up was unearned. Offense came to play. Bryant Packard goes deep. Another day at the office at Spillane if you're the Wareham Gatemen. For my broadcast partner, J.D. Rauchi, I've been Henrique Demore. Thank you so much for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball. The GM of the Gatemen is Andy Lang. Producer of today's broadcast were Trevor Russo and Cam Gonsalves. Our sideline reporter, Mary Orders, a big thank you to her. And our beat writer, Ian Viscera, as well. The next broadcast of Gatemen Baseball will be Friday against Hyannis here at home against Spillane. First pitch is 6:30. Coverage will start on the Gatemen Baseball Network with the Gatemen Pregame Show at 6 o'clock. Again, for J.D. Rauchi, my name's Henrique Demore. Thank you so much for listening. Again, your final from Spillane, Gatemen 7, Anglers 3. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night.